Hey guys, it's Alexandra from iloveknots.com. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make my Octavia scarf. This scarf is comprised of half double crochets and then front post double crochets. The front post stitches create this ridge that you see down here, and the half double crochets create just a flat fabric in the background. This is what the front looks like. I did mine in a two-tone color, so this is both ends of the front side, but the back side is completely flat. I already worked my entire scarf, so I'm just going to be showing you an example today. For my scarf, I used Red Heart Super Saver. The color over here is called Carrot, and the gray color is called Dove. Together with this, I'm using an H8 5mm crochet hook. Gauge is not essential unless the finished size of the scarf is essential, so you could go with any worsted weight yarn that you like, or you could even change it up to a chunky weight yarn to make a more oversized scarf. For my sample, I'm going to use this brown color, which is called Buff. I'm going to start with a slip knot, so I've just pulled the working yarn over my palm there. Wrap the yarn around my index finger 2 times. Hold the tension with my thumb and my middle finger. Pull the loop that's on the left up over the other loop but not off my finger. Then I'll pull the loop that's behind it on the left up over the other loop and off my finger. Then I'll take my crochet hook and I'll insert it right into that center loop where my finger is. Then I'll hold the working yarn in my right hand and I'll pull on the short tail end with my left. Just to normal tension, not too tight. For an adult small size scarf, you're going to start with a chain of 21. For my sample, I'm going to work a chain of 14. To chain, we're going to yarn over, pull through the loop on our hook, yarn over, pull through the loop, yarn over, pull through the loop. We have 3 chains. Go ahead and work all the chains that you need. Now that I've worked my chain, I'm going to start with a half double crochet into the 3rd chain from the hook. We do not count the loop that's on our hook, so we have 1, 2, 3 stitches. I will yarn over, insert my hook directly into the center of that chain, yarn over, pull through. There are 3 loops on my hook. Yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. We're going to continue half double crocheting across the entire chain. I'll show you one more. Yarn over, insert your hook into the center of that chain, yarn over, pull through, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. Continue across. You'll now have 20 half double crochets. For row 2, we're going to chain 1 and turn. We're going to start with a half double crochet into each of the first 6 stitches. So we'll yarn over, insert our hook into the first stitch, picking up both loops from that stitch, yarn over, pull through, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. I'm going to work 5 more half double crochets. So now I have 6 half double crochets here. I'm going to back post double crochet around the next post stitch. The post stitches are what is underneath the V-shaped stitch on the top. So here's our next stitch. This little V shape right here is where we would normally insert our hook right underneath, picking up both of those loops. The post for that stitch is right underneath it, right here. The post for that stitch is the line that's right underneath it. Like a vertical stitch right there with the V-stitch sitting on top. The post down here is where we're going to be working. I'm going to yarn over, hold the tension with my right hand, swing the crochet hook downward onto the back side of the fabric. I'm going to come out into the space to the right of the post stitch. That's in between two post stitches right now. Then I'm going to wrap around the front, come out the next space to the left of it. So now I'm on the back side of the fabric. Yarn over, pull directly across, 3 loops on my hook, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. I'll show you that one more time. Yarn over, hold the tension with my right hand, swing the crochet hook downward on the back side of the fabric, coming out on the space to the right of the post stitch. Wrap around the front of the stitch, coming out the next space on the left. Yarn over, pull directly across, 3 loops on my hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And from the front side of the fabric, you're going to see that that stitch is now raised up, and that's where our ridge starts. I'm going to continue by working a half double crochet into each of the next 6 stitches. And you'll continue working across the row. The repeat is back post double crochet into the next stitch, half double crochet into each of the next 6 stitches, and you'll finish the row with a half double crochet. For row 3, we're going to chain 1 and turn. We're going to start by working a half double crochet into the first 6 stitches. Now we are going to work a front post double crochet around the next post stitch. To work a front post double crochet, yarn over, hold the tension with your right hand, swing the crochet hook downwards on the right side of the fabric, that's the front side, insert your hook into the space to the right of the post stitch, which should be really easy to see right now because it's that raised stitch right there. Insert into the space on the right, wrap around the back, come out on the space to the left, yarn over, pull through, 3 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. I'll show you that one more time. Yarn over, hold the tension with your right hand, swing the crochet hook around to the front of the fabric, insert it into the space on the right of the post stitch, wrap around the back, coming out of the space on the left side of the post stitch, yarn over, pull directly through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Then we'll half double crochet into each of the next 6 half double crochets. And you'll continue working across, front post double crochet into the next stitch, half double crochet into each of the next 6 stitches. You're going to end this row with a half double crochet. The entire scarf is built on repeating rows 2 and 3. When you finish, you're going to finish on a row 2 so that you end on the wrong side of the fabric, which is the flat side. That way when we turn to work the border is worked from the right side of the fabric. I'll show you row 2 and row 3 one more time. Row 2 will be chain 1, turn, half double crochet into the first 6 stitches, back post double crochet around the next post stitch, yarn over, hold the tension, swing the crochet hook downward on the wrong side of the fabric, come out the space to the right of the post stitch, wrap around the post stitch, come out through the space on the left, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Half double crochet into the next 6 half double crochets. Continue repeating across, back post double crochet around the next post stitch, half double crochet into each of the next 6 stitches. Row 3, chain 1, turn, half double crochet into the first 6 stitches, front post double crochet around the next post stitch, yarn over, hold the tension with your right hand, swing the hook downward on the front side, insert into the space on the right, wrap around the post stitch, come out from the space on the left, yarn over, pull through 3 loops, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Half double crochet into each of the next 6 stitches. Continue repeating across, front post double crochet around the next post stitch, half double crochet into each of the next 6 stitches. For this adult small size scarf, you're going to work a total of 172 rows. You can customize this length by making it longer or shorter simply by working more repeats or taking out repeats. Just remember that you want to finish on the wrong side of the fabric, so when we work the border, it's from the right side of the fabric. And to count your rows, they group themselves together because you're turning. So we're not going to count by the ridge because that's hard to distinguish the stitches. But if you look to the left or to the right, you'll sort of see how they group themselves together. Here's the right side of the fabric. Here's the wrong side of the fabric. And it sticks out because the stitches are more textured. So you can see the definition, and I always go to that wrong side and I count 2, 4, 6, etc. Once you've worked all your rows and you just finished on a row 2, now it's time for the border. We're going to start by chaining 1 and turning to the right side. We're going to single crochet across the top of the scarf. To single crochet, we insert our hook into the stitch, yarn over, pull through. We have 2 loops on our hook, yarn over, pull through both loops. Insert your hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through. 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through both loops. I'm going to continue all the way across. So I've worked all the way across. Here in the last stitch I need to increase so that the corners of my scarf lay flat. To increase, I'm just going to work a chain 2, and then I'm going to single crochet right back into the same exact stitch that I just worked into. And now I have an increase there and a rounded corner. Now I'm going to rotate my work so that I'm working down the side of the scarf, and I'm going to work evenly down the side. When you have rows that are built in half double crochet, working evenly means that you're going to work 3 stitches per 2 rows. Looking at our fabric, our next row is a wrong side row. It's more textured, it's raised up, that's the wrong side. And the row after that is going to be worked from the right side. So group those together in your mind as you go along. This increase that we just made counts as the first stitch of that 3. Then I'll work a single crochet here in the center, and I'll work my last of the 3 into the side of this row down here. So the next stitch, I'm going to insert my hook right into the center of it. There's two loops on my hook. Yarn over, pull through, complete a single crochet. Then I'm going to work into the center of the next stitch. I'm picking up just the 2 loops, yarn over, pull through, and complete a single crochet. Now we're come to the next group. And this is how it's going to look all the way down. You'll see this stitch from that last half double crochet of that row. Then a very small stitch on the side, and then a larger stitch here. That's the wrong side of the fabric, that's the right side of the fabric, and those are the 3 stitches on the side. Working evenly is just doing this. Evenly putting stitches along the side. I'm going to continue on, work one more group here. You're going to continue working that all the way down the side of your fabric. When you get to the next corner, you're going to work a single crochet, chain 2, single crochet into the same exact stitch. Then we'll rotate so we can work along the bottom side of the fabric now. Here's my beginning tail. I'm just dropping it to the back. I'm not going to crochet over it. I'm going to sew it in or weave it in at the end. Working along the bottom is very similar to working across the top because it has stitches that are very easy to see. We're just going to single crochet into each one of those stitches all the way across. In a pattern, you'll see this written as single crochet along the opposite side of the foundation chain. Now we've come to another corner here. I'm going to single crochet, chain 2, single crochet into the same exact stitch, and then rotate our fabric to work up the last side. You're going to do it very similarly to how you did the other side. It is 3 stitches per 2 rows. This first stitch here from our increase counts as the first stitch from that group. Insert your hook into the center of the next stitch, picking up 2 loops. Insert your hook into the next stitch, picking up 2 loops. And the way that I'm saying pick up 2 loops, you don't want to pick up the whole entire stitch. That's picking up the whole entire stitch and it makes a hole. You want to work into the side edge of that last stitch. So you insert right into the center of it. and you pick up the top 2 loops. And that helps fill in that gap there. That's the first grouping of 3. Looking at my fabric, I can see this is the wrong side, this is the right side, so I will work 1 stitch into that first stitch there, 1 stitch into the center, and 1 stitch into that stitch from the wrong side. That is my group of 3. Then I'll do it again, and this first stitch just has 1 loop, and that's okay. Doesn't always have to be 2 loops. Continue working all the way up the side. Once you get back to the beginning, you'll insert your hook into the same stitch as the first stitch and complete a single crochet. And then instead of chaining 2, I'm just going to chain 1. And then I'm going to slip stitch join to the first stitch. That's going to take the place of the second chain 2. To slip stitch, we insert our hook into the first stitch, yarn over, pull through that stitch and the loop that's on our hook. I'll show you a slip stitch once more. That's my chain 1. Insert my hook into the first stitch, picking up both loops, yarn over, pull through that stitch and the loop that's on my hook. And there is our border. It just gives you a clean finished edge all around the scarf. Here I'll fasten off my yarn. I'll pull up on this loop to break it. Then I'll insert my hook into the same stitch from the wrong side to the right side. I'll grab that tail end and I'll pull it all the way through. I'm not going to show you here because I don't want to break this yarn, so I can reuse it for another project. But I'm going to insert a clip here showing you how to weave your ends in from a different scarf pattern I worked. To weave in my ends, I'm going to need a tapestry needle. I have pulled up a big loop here so that I don't lose that stitch. And then I'm just going to fasten off this yarn here so that I can sew it in. If my scissors will cut. Then I'm going to take that loop and pull it up so that it breaks the loop. And I'll thread that end into my tapestry needle. This is the yarn that we fastened off at the end. I'm just going to insert my hook into that first stitch that we slip stitched to. Insert it underneath both loops and pull the needle out through the back side, because that's where I'm going to weave in my ends, on the back side. Then I'll flip it over. And I'm going to weave vertically here. I don't weave horizontally in this case because it will bunch up the fabric and restrict any width-wise stretch. But if I weave it here vertically, it won't have an effect on it. So I'm going to insert my hook into a nearby stitch. And when I do that, I'm not going to pick up the whole entire stitch. This is picking up the whole stitch. I don't want to pick up the whole stitch. I want to break the stitch in half by inserting into the center of it. And this is going to help catch my yarn so that it's more secured. Then I'm going to weave under several stitches, and when I come out, I'm also going to break that stitch in half. And then I'll pull through. And I don't want to pull too tight because it will distort the shape up here on the top, so I'm going to just use my fingers to pull it out and take the shape that I want. Then I'll go back to the wrong side, and I'm going to flip it so I can work a return pass. I'm going to insert into a nearby stitch. I always break it in half on when I insert it and when I exit. So I'm breaking it in half. I'm going underneath the same stitches that I just worked, and then I'm coming out on the other side. And I'll pull through. And I work 3 passes. That's the number that I'm most comfortable with. So I'm going to rotate it again, insert into a nearby stitch, under the same stitches I just worked, and come out on the other side. And then I'll just tug on it to take its shape, and then I'll fasten off that yarn. Guess I need some new scissors. Then we'll go down to this bottom one. This is our initial tail end. Thread that tail end into my tapestry needle. And I'm also going to weave this end in vertically. Just go into a nearby stitch, breaking it in half, work up several stitches, breaking the other side in half as well. And I'll work 3 passes the same way. And I always use my fingers to pull out the shape. I don't want it to bunch up and take a weird shape. There's my 3rd pass, and now I can fasten that off. And that's how you weave in the ends. Guys, thanks so much for watching my video. You'll find the written pattern for this scarf at iloveknots.com. I will link that in the description below. Please smash that like button and hit subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video.